Grand Rising family, welcome back to the channel. This is Eddie Star Tarot, and today I'll be doing a reading for the zodiac sign Taurus. You guys, today's reading is going to be a little different. I always say that, but this one is. I'm doing this reading on Saturday, but I got tired yesterday, and also I started late. But I'm going to start utilizing Fridays as these readings are going to be a little bit more dense or a little bit more in depth. And I'm going to start aiding people to help. It's with the ideas or the intentions to help you guys through your ascension process, also through to get to the state of enlightenment, or to help you guys grow, to get you guys through the stages, and all that equates back to you guys' spirituality, and nourishing your spirit. So I'm going to start utilizing Fridays as a day to help you with that. I will be utilizing 2 decks. It just depends. I might not get into the second one. I haven't been for a couple of the reads, but the first book, or the first deck that I'm going to be using is the Secret Language of Light, and the second one is the White Light Oracle. I recommend these oracles for the readers out there. These are fantastic decks, very spiritual, a lot of downloads within it. And the White Light Oracle for the readers out there, you guys, this Anna Fairchild, she's something else, yo. She on that tip. She's on that enlightened tip. But let's get started. I am reading for I forget. I've been doing so many reads today. Tauruses. Let's get started. Actually, before I get started, you guys, I want to tell you a little bit about myself, so you know that I'm not coming from this. I read in a certain way, right? If you resonate with what I'm saying, it's because of the experiences that I've had in my past, and my past has developed me into the human being that I am today. So I want to tell you a little bit about my story. It's going to be a condensed story, so it's not everything, but you'll get the overall picture. My story starts out with my childhood. I always equate it to this. And it's funny that every zodiac reading that I'm talking to, my story comes out a little, it's the same story, but it's like I tune it a little bit better. But my childhood taught me some things within life. It taught me how to be in the state of fear, and it taught me to be afraid and scared of other people. The reason why that is, you guys, is like, as in my childhood, I had dealt with an extreme amount of physical abuse, emotional abuse, and spiritual abuse as well. It was a very difficult childhood. The unfortunate thing, you guys, is I went from that household into 2 others, and those households, they abused me in other ways. So it was like going from, and I also dealt with poverty, abandonment, stuff like that. I feel like what early childhood did for me is dictated what would be the next stages of my life. I took the coping mechanism and the skill sets that I learned within my childhood, I took that into my adulthood. And one of the major things there, you guys, is, and I remember this quote by someone who told me, is, you learned how to be a survivor, but surviving isn't living. Survival is survival. Living is different. There's a very different thing, and I didn't know that there was a difference. One of the things that I found in my at 15 years old was alcohol. When I found alcohol, you guys, it changed my life. To me, the first thing I said was, I can't believe that I have lasted this long without this. And then I said, I will never be able to live my life without it. So I already came to I was already had an alcoholic mind before I even touched the substance. But you have to imagine what my life started to become once I did. So to skip forward a little bit, I had battled with addiction and alcoholism for a very long time. When I was in the service, I equate being in the service is my last leg. What power I did have was drained from me. In that stage of life, which was my early 20s, I went to war, and just like the endurance, the hypervigilance, the discipline, all that stuff, just a culmination of what that experience did for me, really just drained me. and what happened in Afghanistan, developing PTSD or exacerbating what happened to me in childhood. It was just too much, and I felt like it broke me. And I got to a place where I just succumbed to alcoholism and drug addiction, and it got me into a place where I lost everything. Now, there was many times between the ages of 15 and 33 where I went to rehab, but the only difference between then and this last one was that I was always going to get help because of somebody else, or checking the box, right? So people can get off my back. But I was never going for me, because I always knew I can't live without this substance, but I'm going to get them off my back for 30 days or 6 months. I was able to last that long so I can keep going. The unfortunate thing is that I had to get to a point in my life at the end, is when I say 33, is I was homeless. I had burned every bridge. I lost everything. I had one pair of shoes, and I had lost one at the end. And so I had one shoe, a pair of jeans, and a shirt. That's all I had left. So I had to be brought to my knees in order to get help. I was that type of alcoholic. But God spared me, and I thank God for it every day. But where I got, you guys, is I finally stopped resisting, and I got help. And this time I gave it a chance, and it changed my life. It changed my perspective on life. I didn't talk about, I always had these, I felt like psychic gifts or powers, but I never gave them any attention because I didn't grow up in that environment that nourished that type of skill set, right? I didn't get the opportunity to shine my light. I had people within my whole entire life trying to dim my light, and they're effective. They're very effective with doing it. So, and I say all this, you guys, because I know that there's others that will it heals people to hear my story and to resonate with what I'm saying. And also, you guys, that you can overcome adversity, right? At the 6-month mark of me being sober, I got sober January 20th of 2020. Once I got sober, you guys, it shifted my life. At the 6-month mark, I had a spiritual awakening. And during this awakening process, you guys, a whole new life had started for me. I had this thirst for knowledge and wisdom, and I had started, my mind expanded. I was able to think out of the box, and I accepted the knowledge from whatever place it came from. And I didn't allow Christianity or dogma or religious beliefs. I didn't allow the programming, the systemic programming that happened in the past to dictate how I was going to learn. And it changed my life. And fast forward 2 years and 3 months, here I am today, and I'm a reader. I had to go through the dark night of the soul. I went through many cycles, but that is a very fast, rapid story. That's why I read the way that I do. That's why I love the spiritual process, and I want to take others through it and have them believe in themselves, help them to get through the ascension process. And I'm still going through the ascension process, you guys, but to believe in yourself and go after your dreams. But a lot of it has to do with what's going to come up today. So let's get into your guys' read. Let's start out. So let's get going. Tauruses. What do we have for Tauruses? Wow, we have the Awakening card come up. This card hasn't come up for any other zodiac. So you guys are going through this process. You guys know what I'm talking about. We have channeling. Ooh. Do we have some psychics in the house? Tauruses. We got some psychics. Thank you, Spirit. And then we have visualize. Beautiful. Beautiful combination today. And then on the bottom we have ask your soul. All right. Let's start with ask your guys' soul. So when we, I'm saying when we say ask your guys' soul, you guys, this is the idea for me where we are listening to our heart space, right? We're also talking to our higher selves. This comes from the idea that we have a higher self or God or universe that is communicating with us. When we ask our soul about things or what we're doing, we'll get the answer that we need. So one of the things that my guides want you guys to focus on, or your guides want you to focus on what ask your even on whatever your heart, on heart matters. I'm getting heart matters, so like relationships. If it doesn't feel right, if you have doubt, that's your gut telling you. So ask your higher self. We say this as prayer. What should I be doing this? If it doesn't feel right, or if you don't like it, even if other people are trying to push you into it, listen to your higher self, because your higher self has the answers that you guys need. We have your higher self has your blueprint, what you're supposed to be doing within this life. If you don't already know it, because I feel like it goes going through the awakening process, so you'll know what I'm saying. Everything that happens on this planet is meant to happen. It is not a coincidence. Everything, even if it seems chaos, think about my story that I told you. And I said it like this to another Zodiac. I went through all that stuff, and I was mad at God. And I told him how mad I was at him, and I lived my life in that way. And I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't change my childhood for the world, because it's made me the person who I am today, the wisdom that I have today, the experience, who I can connect with today is because I went through it. So, but I couldn't say that back when I was a kid or when I was going through my adulthood, right? It was because I was pissed. So, I'll say it like this, you guys. There are no wrong answers, and what you go through in your life is meant to happen. It is for a reason. If your higher self has your guys' blueprint, that means that you should be asking your heart what I should be doing. What is it that I should be doing? Who should I be around? Stuff like that, right? And on the bottom of that is listen to the whispers of your heart. Listen to the whispers that are around you. You have a guidance team. You have a guidance system within you, which is the 3 brain centers: your mind, your heart's a brain, and your stomach's a brain. We call this intuition. We call this, those whispers, those downloads are coming from your guidance around you. There is a codex in the matrix. The life that we live is more than you just being a physical being in this experience. There's more to it. You have information. You may not be able to see it. It's like a radio, right? It's running off a frequency. All you have to do is tune into it. You have to figure out how to open yourself up to the different frequencies, to the different codexes. Maybe it's angel numbers. Maybe that's how your guidance comes in, right? Maybe it's spirit animals. Maybe it's you dowsing. Maybe it's your pendulum swing. Maybe it's tarot. Those are different ways. Maybe it's music, conversations, stuff like that, right? So make sure that you guys are trusting your intuition and following it. Let's get into the awakening. This is a beautiful card, you guys. You guys have been activated on a cellular level. Beautiful, baby. Let's get it, Tauruses. You guys are in this process right now where the world. This is like Neo in the Matrix, man. When we have Morpheus, when he's like, when he stops and he sits to fight the Mr. Smith, or the Smith. When he finally just says, you know what, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna go for it though. And they ask, what is he doing? And Morpheus goes, he's starting to believe. So baby, you Tauruses, you starting to believe, yo. Which, this is a beautiful time. I'm getting chills right now, which means maybe you guys are getting chills. You guys are Neo right now, and you guys are breaking out of the Matrix, meaning you guys have this amazing new processes that are happening. So it's like, I remember when I told you at the 6-month mark when I started to download this information. I come from the concept now where I believe that I don't have to read this book to understand some of the things in here. That on some level, I called Anna Fairchild in to give me this information, right? And it's interesting too. Every concept is interwoven together, and everything isn't in a linear aspect, meaning it's like we like to learn things in a straightforward line, but sometimes it doesn't work that way. It can be read backwards, right? Or different subjects can intermingle when you put them together. I'm getting, like right now, a download of a formula that's used to create a program can be put into something else to help that business, and it will thrive. That's kind of like this process. There are no wrong answers or right answers. They're only just answers. And it's what you believe and what you want to experience and what you call in. For me, you guys, how the process started, like I said before, is angel numbers. Maybe it's angel numbers for you. I had been getting angel numbers since I was 15, but I never listened to it. I never even had the thought to say, because I was deeply embedded in the matrix. I did not believe. And the alcohol made it sure and cemented the fact that I didn't believe, right? Self-medication only keeps you asleep. So when I finally figured it out at the age of 33 and 6 months, I realized, wait a minute, I've seen 333 way too many times, or now I think I need to look it up. And literally they had to bang me over the head with it. It was like this, you guys. My spirometer, the odometer was reading 33 miles per hour. The date was 3/3/2000 or something like that, or I forget that the last date, but it was 33. The time was 333, and then I think it was like the time up here was 333, and I was like doom 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 doom, and it all happened at one time, and I was like, there's just no way that I've seen that many 333s and it not mean something. And finally, I had the bright idea to look up my angel number. And there it happened. Beauty opened up for me. This awakening. I tapped outside of the matrix and I listened to something more. No, it's just a speedometer. Oh, it's just the date. Oh, it's coincidental. It's just coincidence. It can't be true. I decided to pop out of being a sheep. I popped out of being cattle being herded on this earth. Instead, I tapped into something bigger, and that's what I feel like you guys are doing. And then something started to expand. Then I started to listen to all the angel numbers. Then I started to realize, wait a minute, they're not just repeating numbers. It can be whatever number I want it to be. It can be a palindromic number. It can be... And then it started to evolve. The language started to evolve, right? That's what I call the codex. If you break the codex, then you start to, there's levels to it, right? This is only one subject of many subjects, you guys, but this is the process. Someone's going to resonate out there, Tauruses. For me, you guys, it was sacred geometry, the Kabbalah, Dead Sea Scrolls, Egyptology, Egypt religion, goddesses, gods, Hinduism, Buddhism, Isis, Anubis. Started reading the archetypes. Started reading. I didn't understand why I was having all these downloads. Is because all of it came back to what I'm doing for you guys right now. I was learning this sacred geometry, how the world worked. Because they were trying to teach me that I am a small universe and I come from something grander, the universe, the one, God, right? I am from source. They're trying to tell me something about my lineage, my past. I kept asking God, who am I? Who am I? Because I've lived many lives here, have many experiences, old souls. Maybe you guys have past life regression. Whatever you guys are working on, trust it. You are not crazy. These things, this awakening is happening because your soul is asking to grow. This place, like I say, is not coincidental. It's happening for a reason. And you have awakened. You're tapping out to tap back in. You're tapping out to tap back in, but you're tapping into yourself. And the only way to tap into thyself is to tap into the high self. So in order to do that, you guys, you have to trust. And it's very difficult to walk in faith. That's what they're talking about. The Bible talks about this too, you guys. But it's just in a different language, right? There's Yeshua, Jesus Christ, is teaching us the same thing. He's teaching about spirituality. But because of systematic programming, not to say that there's anything wrong with it, because there's not. That book is filled with how to be a person of moral codes and ethics. So there's nothing wrong with being religious. It is a step in the process, and it's a beautiful step. But like I said before, you guys, we are not meant to wield spirituality. We're not meant to wield religion as a sword to hurt and control people. That's not how it was meant to happen. It was meant to uplift, enlighten, to guide people. Make sure that that's what you guys are doing with your power. Let's move on to channeling. I'm getting that you guys possibly are heavy in psychics. Maybe you guys are readers. Maybe you guys read energy. Maybe you guys are into Reiki. It just depends. But I feel like you guys are beautiful channelers. Maybe you guys can channel aliens. Maybe you can channel ascended masters. Maybe you are hearing, you have your clairaudient, clairsentient, right? There's the clairs. Maybe you guys need to go check out what clair you guys have. Knowing what you have will be able to advance the gift. For me, you guys, I'm going to tell you guys why I'm so intuitive. My intuition is almost flawless. The only time when it's not flawless is because I ignored it. But it's been developed year after year because of what I went through. I was around people who I couldn't trust. I was around people who were trying to hurt me. I was around alcoholics, drug addicts. I was around gang violence. I was around people who I needed to know what their energy was, right? I didn't know that I'd been reading people my whole life. I was born to do this stuff, right? My past isn't a mistake. It was meant to happen. So maybe you guys resonate with this on some level. So that's what I'm saying though. When I started to listen to my intuition at the age of 33, like really started listening, I recognized that my intuition was always correct. Maybe you're always correct about some stuff because you can read, you stop reading what people are saying, but now you're reading their energy, and energy don't lie. It don't lie, baby. That's why I'm saying people could be lying to your face, but you can just tell. There's something that people can't do. You can't hide body language. It's very difficult. Most people want to tell on themselves. Psychology says it. People want to tell on themselves, and they're doing it with their energy, their face movements, all their tics. So maybe what I'm trying to tell you guys is the way to enhance your gift is to know you have it, and then you have to trust it. You have to move in faith. A lot of this is talking about faith here too. And the last card that's coming out for you guys, Tauruses, is visualize. This is setting intentions. Also, the law of attraction is coming up here. Make sure what you guys are visualizing is transformative or transforming your life. I do have the lotus flower up top. It's talking about that your life is transforming because you guys are visualizing a new life for yourself. That's amazing. And I believe it's happening because of this awakening process. Also, if you guys are channelers, start to enhance the gift. It's meant for you guys to do something beautiful with it. You guys, maybe it's reading cards. Look at the cards don't have power, but the cards are a guidance system. I equate it to this, you guys. This isn't a gem or an activation. These cards are pictures, right? They're pictures and words that help me to communicate with my guidance system, my higher self, or God, or the divine around me, right? It helps me to communicate with them better. So it's just think about it. When I'm pulling a card and they gave me a message, they're giving me a deep message about you guys and you have to trust it. You have to move in faith, right? You're like, is he just pulling cards or is this actually happening? Maybe this resonates with you on a deep level. You have to move in faith with it, right? I move in faith with my job all day. I have to trust that what I'm telling you is what you need to hear at this time period. It's what your soul's calling for. But the picture, all this is helping me to focus my intention or focus my attention on what needs to be said. And everything that I say is what needs to be said at that moment. So I'm talking about channeling right now. You as a human being are the strongest conduit to God, but you have to get yourself into the place where you're channeling the information around you, right? Visualizing. Just a little bit more about visualize, you guys. Just make sure that whatever you guys think, be super intentional about what you guys are thinking, because what you visualize is going to be your reality. Visualization is also talking about the inner and outer expression. That your inner and your outer are connected. There's no difference between you and people that you run across, even if you run across people who you think are a stranger. Everyone is mirroring you. Everyone is a version of yourself. If you approach the world in that aspect, it is transformative, and it is the truth. One of the examples of this, and I'll end the reading here, is that it's very easy for us to notice the flaws in other people before we notice it in ourselves. And the reason for that, you guys, is the things that we hate or the things that we dislike in other people, those are the things that we dislike in ourselves, and those are the things that we need to concentrate on ourselves. And we call people into our reality. You called me to bring you this message because it's what you needed to hear at this time to help you ascend or grow, right? I am your mirror today. So approach the world in that aspect, and I promise you it's super transformative. You guys, it's been a beautiful read. I love the shit out of you, Tauruses. I send you guys life. I send you guys love and light. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful weekend. I will see you today on the daily read. You guys help my channel to grow. Give me reciprocate the energy, you guys. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you guys today.